We are here on a glorious, lucky Friday the 13th. May all your weird subconscious superstitions take over your mind today. We are, don't forget, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell. We are actually moving on with our second day of exponent rules. And honestly, yesterday we did what? Multiplying and adding, right? Guess what we're doing today? Dividing and subtracting. Okay, so let's move on. Now, again, if some of this stuff doesn't make sense, remember what was used like Tylenol and Advil and everything. Opioids, okay? Opium, okay? All right. So, yes, I am saying that they basically were high. All right. Now, property of negative exponents. A number with the negative exponent should be put in the denominator or vice versa. Vice versa means if it's in the denominator and negative, it needs to go to the numerator. All right. So for example 1a, we move it to the basement and bam, it's positive. Yep. Super duper crazy hard. Okay. That's the answer. All right. On B, it's in the basement. It's negative. So then we move it upstairs. And I've got to change that 3 because it looks kind of weird. There we go. That's a little bit more better. Okay. I don't know. This and somebody said negative exponents are bad, and I don't I don't understand some people's thought process. It's like wearing chacos and socks. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay. All right. Quotient property. All right. So yesterday we had the product property. We had numbers with the same base. We added the exponents. Now we have numbers of the same base that's being divided. So the opposite of multiply is, I'm sorry, I did say the opposite of multiply is divide. The opposite of add is subtract. Okay, so this is 3 to the 5th over 3 squared. Now, for those that don't really grasp the whole subtraction thing, well, let's look at this. Let's mark out what we have in common. Well, this one and this one, and too much. Okay, so now we have 3 to the 3rd power. That's why it has that little box there is for you to put that in. It's the same thing if we were to say 3 to the 5 minus 2, which is 3 to the 3rd. Okay, bam. And on B, we have y to the 7th over y to the 4th. Well, this is y to the 7 minus 4. Okay, if 7 campers go into Camp Crystal Lake and then, Jason Voorhees comes out and 4 of them goes missing, now we have 3. Okay. For those that are fans of that, y'all probably appreciated it because it's this number minus this number. Okay. Are you sure? Because like, I use you as like a baseline if people understand it. So if you're sitting there going, I'm really worried that other people are not getting it. Well, trust me, I worry about all y'all. Just in general. Now, future, just whatever. All right. Are we good with example 1, example 2 so far? Now remember, I said the orange sheets are already out, so you could go ahead and start building your orange sheet, because usually on this test people say there's so many rules. Yes, there are. So you kind of have to, you know, take it step by step, day by day. All right. Raising a quotient to a power is basically a distributive property on steroids, but with fractions. That's the best way I could come up with it. Y'all would not want the like math nerd version. Okay. Like I read the math nerd version 6 times and I was still I had the who farted face. All right. Basically, this is what this is saying. In this example, we have 5x over 3y, all that is squared. Okay. Basically, it's saying we could do this. Okay. Well, from our, you know, product, I don't know. It's one of those weird things. It's the one I said yesterday that was a distributed property on steroids. It says we basically now have this. We have 5 squared, and then x to, remember, this is understood to be 1 times 2, because we multiply the exponents, over 3 squared, and y to the 1 times 2. Okay. Well, 5 times 5 is 25. 1 times 2 is 7, right? Yeah, okay. 3 squared is 9, and 1 times 2 is this. All right, so this is what it ends up being. I know one. I know. I know 1 times 2 is not 7. I'm glad you caught that one. Um, it's okay. Hey, you're the only one that participated. I'm glad at least I got some type of an answer. I would have accepted a grunt. Ugh, you know. All right. So let's try the same thing with B. B is a little bit, a little bit extra. Okay, this one was a little basic. This is a little extra. For some of y'all that are a little extra, this might be right up your alley. So basically, I'm taking everything on the top and everything on the bottom and raising it to the third power. Okay. Hey, that's the first step. Once we get here, you know, then we're going to distribute this third power. So 3 to the third, x to the 4 times 3, 2 to the third, y to the third times 3. All right. So 3 to the third, 27. All right. For our x, what is 4 times 3? 12. Yeah. Somebody said it like a question. 12? All right. And then 2 cubed, or to the third power, is 8. And what is 3 times 3? 9. Now, is there anything in common? There was nothing in common with 25 and 9. Is there anything in common with 27 and 8 like that we could reduce down? Easiest, y'all know the easiest way to check that? Yeah, calculator is I would put 27 over 8 in my calculator. And if I get the same, if I get the same thing back, it's already reduced. It's almost like I'm really want y'all to use calculators often. Like if you have to use a calculator to get 1 times 2, as long as you get it right, I am happy with that. Yes. Okay. Well, yes, that is very random to talk about this in the middle of this lesson, but I'm glad that your circles are so good. I'm very that is good. That is good. That's very good. Good circles. Yeah. Yeah. Give a clap. Give a clap for good circles. Okay. Wow, the people not even paying attention are clapping. We actually got more involvement. Okay. All right. Is anybody still writing down? Okay. Got one or two. Do 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 do.
You need to play a kitty. Oh, kitty, kitty.
Y'all not talk to your cats in a different voice? Y'all don't talk to your animals in a different voice? Okay, yeah, like you have to have a different voice. Who's your good boy? Yeah, that's how that's the dog thing. Yeah. It's always fun when I'm working on the lawnmower outside in the backyard. I have two helpers that really do nothing but like try to put their nose in exactly where I'm trying to work or lick my ear or slobber all over me. I came in one day and my hair was like it looked like Jimmy Neutron. My wife said, "What happened?" I said, "Well, Daisy licked my forehead as I was coming up off the ground, and it just kind of stuck like that." She's yeah, Daisy's kind of she's special. She's a sweet girl. Not smart, but she's sweet. She is. All of my animals, like they are just not. Mm-mm. All right. Whew. This looks like a lot. Okay. No, that's not what it means. Okay. Let's go through it slowly. Okay. So, first, let's look at it. It looks like we've got some multiplication up top. Do we have anything happening down here in the bottom? Like any parentheses, anything? No. We could actually just leave the bottom as it is. Aha. So that helps us out some. Okay. Now, the top is kind of like some of the problems we had yesterday. Okay. So I'm going to pull out the numbers and multiply them. All right. So 12 times 3 is 36. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. All right. I only have one x to the first. So there's no other x friends to, put it with. So just x. Huh? Okay. And then our y's looks like we have a 3 and a 2. Well, 3 plus 2 is to the fifth. Okay. So now we've done the top. Okay. Now we've done the top. All right. Let's do the bottom, or let's do all of it now. All right. So again, let's pull out the numbers. Okay. So 36 over 4 reduces down. See, 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay. Just doing the numbers first. Okay. Now with my x's that live in Texas. All right, this is understood to be the first. So we have 1 minus 8, because remember, we're subtracting now. Okay, so this gives me -7. And then our y's, we have y to the 5th minus 4, which is y to the 1st. All right, now we get to put it all back together. Okay, which, like I said, if I'm working on the lawnmower, I have to take stuff apart and have to put it all back together. Have to find to make sure that, the dog didn't run off with a certain tool. That happens. Daisy. All right. So the 9 is going to go on top. The y is going to go on top because they're both positive. All right. This x to the -7. What did we learn about how do we make a negative exponent positive? Yeah, if it's in the denominator, we put it on top. If it's like this, we actually put it in the bottom. Okay. So, and because I would like to have a good circle, I still messed it up. Still messed it up. Okay, it's better than the rest. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Not much. Not by much. What? No, okay. So for reasons I don't understand, I always love to watch South Park. Okay, and I really love the episode where they talk about the pandemic and Cartman, they're having like a Zoom class or whatever, and then Cartman starts going ah," and act like his thing's messing up, and then he puts a picture of himself in front of the webcam to act like his screen is frozen, and then he like goes and like plays video games. That's what popped in my head when you said that. Yeah. All right. Let's look at B. Thank you. It is what it is. All right. First thing, we have a fraction, we have a power, derivative property on steroids. Okay. So we write it like this. Okay. Now I need to raise everything to the fourth. Just can't have nothing, can we? Just can't have nothing. Drop the paper on the floor. That was almost a good line. Got a little curly there at the end. All right. So from here to here, I made both top and bottom, numerator, denominator, raised everything to the fourth, and then I kind of went back and raised
each little thing
in here to the fourth power. Okay. All right. So now, let's see. 3 to the fourth, 81. All right. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. And 5 to the fourth, 625. And then this is y to the negative 4. All right. We're almost done. Whew, I know. Man. This is about as bad as, well, I don't know what it's about as bad as. All right. First, let's check our numbers, see if they reduce. They don't. Awesome. Mm-mm. Okay. Now we get to worry about our negative exponents. Okay. Which I'm surprised somebody didn't say something about that on the previous step. Okay. Now, this x is to the negative 8. It's on top. We make that positive by moving it to the basement. The y is in the basement, so to make it positive, we move it up to the first floor. And there's our answer. Oh, biscuits. What up? Okay. Ta-da! Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. So, from y'all's interactions on going over these problems, it seems like y'all want a whole bunch of problems like A and B on your test. Yeah. Look, and it even, I know we didn't look at this, but it says follow this order: power, product, quotient, zero, and then negative. Okay. Basically, that's what we did, especially in B. Okay. We separated it, we ran that power through, and then we worried about the negative. Over here, we did the multiplication, added the exponents, and then we went through each column and did those parts. Okay. Woo-hoo, little ghost. All right. Believe it or not, that's where I leave the, at home audience from around the world. I think it'd be funny if somebody from somewhere else besides the state of Alabama would actually comment about where you're watching this and why. That would be super funny. So that's it. Don't forget, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Good stuff, good things. Stay farce. Roll Tide.